Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So imagine you start research without any idea in mind, just exploring data like a detective. With this thing, we are moving ahead with the next question paper. So here is section 1, which is fill in the blanks. Moving ahead with the fill in the blanks, here is the first question. The two main paradigms of data research are hypothesis driven and blank. Hypothesis driven and which driven? So now when we talk about hypothesis driven versus data driven research, hypothesis driven means when we start with a theory first and then test it using data, but sometimes we don't start with a theory at all. We look directly at the data to find patterns. That approach is called data driven research. So the blank becomes the data driven. Moving ahead with the second question, which is big data is defined by volume, variety and blank. Here three V's are used, which means volume means the amount of data, variety means the different type of data, and the third one indicates how fast data is generated. It's called velocity. So the answer here is velocity. Next question. A type of data science problem that predicts a numerical value is called. What does it call? So there are many machine learning problem types, but when our goal is to predict a continuous numeric value, like salary or like house pricing or like temperature, that falls under regression. So the correct answer here is regression. Next question. The set of all possible outcomes of an experiment called blank. In probability, when we perform an experiment, there can be many possible outcomes. If we list all of them, that full list is what we call the sample space. So the answer becomes sample space. Now next, two events A and B are independent if P intersect P A intersect B is equal to what? For independent event, one event doesn't influence the other. So their joint probability becomes the product of their individual probabilities. So here answer is P of A into P of B. Next question. The exact middle value among the data set is called. What does it call? So when we want the middle value, especially when data might have outliers, we don't take average. We take the value right in the center when data is stored. So that value is called median value, center value. A correlation value of blank means no linear correlation. So here correlation tells how two variables move together. So if the value becomes 0, that means there is no linear relationship between them. So the blank here gets answer 0. Moving ahead with the next question. Information lost due to acquisition errors is classified as in. Sometimes data get distorted because of hardware or software issues like sensors failure or file corruption and like that. So such unwanted distortion are called artifacts here. So here the answer is artifacts. Moving ahead with question number 9. Predicting missing data using model is called which model? So if we fill missing value just using average or medians, that's basic imputation. But when we use machine learning models like regression or random forest to estimate missing values, that process is called model-based imputations. So here answer is model-based imputations. Question number 10. Transforming numeric data into categories is known as blank. For example, instead of storing age like 22, 27 or 54, we categorize into young, adult and senior. So this conversion from number to categories is called as binary. So here answer is binary, transforming numeric data into categories. Moving ahead, question number 11. Converting categories like RGB into vector like 100 is called. So machine is like what machine understand? Only binary language. Machine can't understand text categories, so we convert them into binary vectors like ones and zeros. This process is called one-hot encoding. What does it call? One-hot encoding. So here question number 12. For a normal distribution, which rule says 95% data lies within plus minus 2 sigma. So this comes from empirical rule, also known as 68, 95, 99.7 rule, which states that 95% of data lies within 2 standard deviation from the mean. So answer what is? The answer here, empirical rule. Yeah. So next question, the error term, irreducible error, blank error plus blank error. So total error has two parts. First one is irreducible, we can't remove it, and second one is reducible, which can be minimized using better models. So the blank here gets answer. What's that? Reducible error. So the error term equal to irreducible error plus reducible error. Moving ahead with the next question. The principle that the simplest explanation is best is called. So whenever multiple models can solve a problem, we should not always choose the model complex one. This ideas come from Occam's razor, which suggests choosing the simplest valid model. So answer what is Occam's razor. Now next question here. No free lunch theorem. No single algorithm is best for all. Just like we discussed earlier, different model perform well on different data sets, so no one model wins everywhere. So here the blank is data sets. What's answer here? Data sets. Blank models assume a functional form and estimate parameters. Some models assume a predefined math structure like straight lines and a linear regression. These are called parametric models. So a parametric models assumes a functional form and estimate parameters. Here, question number 17. The metric that measures correctness of positive prediction is blank. So, precision tells us out of all predicted positives, how many were actually correct. So, what's the answer here? Precision. Validation method where each sample is tested once is blank. Leave one out cross validation. LOOCV. Trains the model on n-1 samples and tests on the remaining one and repeats for every sample. So, the blank comes leave one out cross validation. Now question number 19 here, linear regression coefficients are found by minimizing. To find the best line, linear regression minimizes the difference between actual and predicted values, specifically the residual sum of squares, RSS. The blank here is RSS, residual sum of squares. Now last question of this question paper, in regularization, which method L1 forces some coefficients to 0? So L1 regularization penalizes coefficients in such a way that some become exactly 0, so it performs feature selection. That method is called lasso. Lasso regression. So yeah, here we discuss about our question paper. I hope you like this video. See you in the next video. Thank you.